Good evening. Welcome to Old Iron Garage, and thank you for tuning in. So tonight I am out here in the garage getting ready to work on a project that I just picked up. So I will tell you what that is in just a little bit. Backstory on how I found it. So about a month ago, I went to a guy's house to pick up this old Homelight weed eater, and I got it for $10 as, parts or repair. And I started talking to the guy and told him I'm a Homelight collector, and that's why I wanted it. I told him I like to fix up that style of weed eater and use them around home. And he said, well, I got an old Homelight chainsaw in the garage. And I said, is it something you'd sell? He said, yeah, I believe I would. And so he didn't remember what model it was, so I asked if I could look at it. Took me in the garage to show me, and I will talk more about that chainsaw in a later video, but I'll do a video just for that one. But this video is something I spotted outside of his garage. It is about that. So, walking into his garage, I was about to tell him that I'm a Bolens collector. And then I look up, and I'm about to walk past a 1950-something Bolens Power Ho. It is a two-wheeled tractor, or also known as a walk-behind tractor, and it had the heavy-duty cultivator with it. Now, I have no experience with any two-wheeled tractors or walk-behind tractors. I've never owned one, I've never used one, I've never worked on one. I've seen them, but that's it. So, I asked him, at first glance, it looked to be complete. I was not sure if every little part and piece is there because I'm not familiar with them, but it looked to be pretty well complete. So I asked him about it. I told him, I'm also a Bolens collector, and, what do you know? There's a Bolens right there. And he's like, oh, yeah, I picked that up. I just have that out there for lawn art. And I said, is that something you'd sell? And he said, yeah, that he would sell it. I asked him what he would have to have for it, and he said, $50. So I told him, well, I will come back and collect that at a later date. I'll come back and buy that at a later date. So I did. Fast forward approximately a month, went back and got it this evening, along with that Homelight chainsaw. Again, I will do a separate video on that chainsaw. But, so, I have part of it on my workbench tonight, and I'm going to show you that now, and I'm going to explain to you why that part is on my workbench. Alright, here it is. So we're looking at the front right now, the grill, cast iron grill. I always thought that these were neat. It's a little something that some bug built. I don't know what that was. I always thought that these cast iron grills on like the front of the 1950s Bolens equipment, some of the tractors and the walk-behind tractors and whatnot, I always thought that was kind of neat. But, here's this side. You have your pulleys. I believe that I think I read somewhere this can come off. And these pulleys can switch around for like high range and low range. I think that's what they're for. Looking at them, I can tell one was used. One was not often used. There was a belt on here. I have it out there on the trailer with the rest of the tractor. Gotta be careful not to tip this over. It's a little tipsy. So, why is this just this? Why is it apart and just this is on my bench? I do have the complete tractor, but I wanted to plop the engine on the bench tonight because it is seized up tight. So, I don't know if you noticed when I had it spun around the other way, I should have pointed it out, but the muffler's missing, and even though what's remaining of the exhaust is underneath the sheet metal hood, I'm guessing water got in there? I'm hoping the cylinder did not sit with water in it, that it just got stuck over time. But I'm going to be doing some disassembly and getting it down to just the engine. And I'm going to get that head off of there. We're going to take a look in the cylinder. And I'm going to put some penetrating oil in there and see if I can't get this thing to budge. If I can, I'm going to bring this engine back to life. If not, I've got at least a few more on the shelf that I believe are the same model, and if they're not, they're a close enough model that they will probably work. I don't know yet. We will find out. It just depends on... They're basically the same engine with the gear reduction on the back. I have to find out what reduction it is. If it's... This one I believe is supposed to be 6-to-1. If it's not 6-to-1, what is it? And am I going to have... If I put that on there, am I going to have to sprint to keep up with this thing, or what? Because I don't want that. So, anyways, let's dive in. Alrighty. So I guess the first order of business would be... Looks like the bottom of the grill is unbolted. So I guess maybe the first order of business would be to get this off. Maybe the grill will come with it. I don't think the grill is attached to... Nope, it's not. So it's just attached to this. You know what? I don't have to take all these little Phillips head screws out that they're going to strip out. I see two little pieces of hardware here. A little bolt on each side. Just maybe those will come loose. We're going to find out. I'm also going to shoot some penetrating oil on this fuel cap because it doesn't look like it's going to want to move. Hopefully some of that will creep up in there. What else? I'm going to spray some penetrating oil on all this hardware just in case I do have to go that route. I'm trying to spray it underneath the sheet metal too to get it to go to the screw underneath the sheet metal. And I'm going to spray all this because at some point I'm going to want to try to get that loose. There's just a lot of things I'm going to go around spraying that are going to have to come loose. Carburetor moves like it's not stuck, you know. I love the smell of penetrating fluid in the evening. Oh, may have to source another fuel cap at some point. I see right there it's kind of rusted through. Maybe I can save that cap. Tiny little bit of soldering on the inside, perhaps. I don't know. We'll find out. Let's have a seat. Clean up a little bit of this mess on the bench from all the penetrating oil and some motor oil that was on there. I previously had the generator, that Onan generator, a single cylinder, that 3.0 AJ Onan generator that was up here. That was up here until a little bit ago. My friend that was in the video where we worked on it, he came over and helped me get it down off the bench. I have my doubts. That's going to just want to turn. I'm afraid of busting it off. That could be really bad. Yeah, it's trying to turn that whole bolt. So rather than ruining something, I'm going to go a different route. So I am going to, there's fuel line down here. It's just like a steel fuel line. It goes like from the it goes from the fuel sediment bowl, and it comes out in this way, and it curly cues, so there's some flexibility, and it goes to the carburetor. I'm going to have to get that fuel line loose. 3/8 or 7/16, probably 7/16. Let go of my shirt. The drawer grabbed my shirt. Use one of these doodabbers. I don't usually use these very often. They work well. Hey! Dude, that came right off. That was too easy. Holy cow. I barely had to apply any pressure to that. Oh, now it got tight. Okay, I think that's threaded all the way off. I'm going to have to do this one. I wish I could show you what I'm doing, but I cannot hold that camera right where I need it for you guys to be able to view what I'm doing and have you guys, and do the work, you know. I just don't have any way to do that. So you just have to believe me that I'm removing a fuel line. Well, that spring's supposed to be hooked to something. It's like it's on the throttle. It's just dangling loose, not connected to anything on the bottom end. Okay, now that was too easy. Praise the Lord that that came off so easily. So now I'm gonna have to remove the fuel tank. I was going to try and take the bracketry and all from this side, but I see that there's one bracket that bolts to the bolt heads of the engine, which I cannot get to until this is all off. Oop. These look like they should come a little easier. Let's hope. No, it's going the wrong way. Gotta go this way. I'm tired. It's been a long day. Okay, yeah, that came. That's gonna come off. I'm gonna swap this out for a real ratcheting wrench right now. Where'd I put that one? I was gonna say I just had it. There we are. There we are. This morning I sold a rototiller attachment that was on my QT. It was with my QT17 when I bought that a couple years ago. Pretty happy about that because I did not need that. So I've been sitting on it for a couple years, and the whole time it was posted for sale. Had a few people message me for it, and one guy was Southern Indiana. Yeah, I'm gonna come up for it. He never did, which I get it. You know, I was saving up for a wedding. He was saving up for a wedding, so I know how that is. So hopefully he got married and is living the good married life. Hopefully all's well for him. But yeah, he never came for it. Now, someone else did. Someone that lives quite a bit closer. He was only about an hour and 15 minutes away. He came, brought some buddies, and they loaded it, paid me for it, loaded it up, and took it. So now that's out of my hair, and someone can enjoy it. Ugh. My arm is, I have a sore arm right now. It's hurting. So there's no way I'm going to have this thing running tonight, but if I can at least get a look at the cylinder, see what's the cylinder look like. Get some penetrating oil in there, let it sit, maybe get it the piston knocked loose and turning, if I'm lucky. If not, well, I'm not going to press my luck and try to force it, break something. So I'm just going to let it sit with some penetrating oil in there. Something, you know. Some ATF. Yeah, I might pour a little ATF in there too. Some kerosene, I don't know. We'll see. I'll look around and see what all I got. Now. Oh, wait. I forgot one more thing. That sediment bowl has to come off. Yes, sir. That has got to come off. What is that, 1/2 inch? 9/16, something like that. Probably 1/2 inch. Daggone it. I literally just seen that 1/2 inch wrench in here. Whatever. Gonna grab the big brother, that other tool. I should have showed you that other tool. These are Stanley. Look at this head. Spring loaded. These work really well. I just don't use them very often, that's all. Just kind of an oddity, you know, just kind of strange tool. Oh, way easy. I could have just got that by hand. They're just not a super common tool, so I don't think to use it most of the time. But I do love them. They definitely have their place in my toolbox. Because think of it, it's like an adjustable wrench, but also because of the fact that it's spring loading, it's ratcheting. The tool itself doesn't ratchet. The nut or whatever you grab, and the tool will slip over and then grab and turn it. Aha! Now we have access to the head. Kind of would like to try to get this fuel tank cap off, but I am not going to mess with it right now. I'm just going to leave it alone. Does all this hardware come out of here? It does. I don't want to lose it. These are like little carriage bolts. So I better take these out of here. There's a nice bit of original paint inside here. I'll show that to you guys in a minute. So on the inside of the grill, there you can kind of see it. It's hard to see from way back there. Trying to turn it so you guys can get some light on it, and it's really difficult. You get the idea. There, that's about the best I can do. So, I love this cast iron grill. It's awesome that it's in such great shape still. I am, while I've got access to the bottom side, going to spray the back side of those Phillips head screws so that at a later time, if I need to, they maybe will come loose. Man, I really want to see the inside of this fuel tank. I know I've got other caps that'll go on there, but this one still has a little bit of original paint. So that's kind of why I would like to try to save on it. Save it, you know. Alrighty. Put a little more on these. I don't know about this hardware on here. This might be tricky. Okay, that one came right out. Whew! The thing I'm most worried about is this big flathead screw. Just got it slit through it, you know, flathead screw. I'm worried about that. I'm gonna put some of these back together a little bit just so I can keep track of them. Some of this hardware, so I'm less likely to lose anything. Looks like I am missing a spring washer here. Two of them, they all three have a flat washer. Only two of them have a spring washer. Okay, interesting. I may actually replace these. These carriage bolts are pretty rough. May end up replacing them. Oh yeah, that is coming right out. It's the hex head bolt on the other side. But one thing I'm worried about is this carburetor going to be in the way? Am I going to have to remove the carburetor before I can get this? I believe that is going to be in the way. I believe that my carburetor will be in the way of getting this bolt out. So I'm just going to remove the carburetor. Nope, not that one. This is going to be a game of I got to take this off so I can get this off, 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 finally. Got to remove like 4 things to get one thing off. Normally, old stuff like this isn't like that. But in this case, I guess it is. Fortunately, everything's been fairly agreeable so far. Praise the Lord for that. Well, we can take a look inside the intake port, I guess. Don't lose that screw. It's not all rusty. That's good. Now, use my ratcheting wrench. Car saying, hey, where's your Harbor Freight Hercules impact? It's here. Just not using it tonight. I don't really feel like I have enough hardware to take off tonight that I really need it. And sometimes I just like to, just use your standard hand tools, like when I was a kid. Didn't have those. Spark plug wire is not connected. That's an easy fix. It's right there at the end. You just crimp that end back on it. No worries there. Whew! This one is coming loose. Nice and easy. Praise the Lord for that. I gotta give a shout out here to Rural King for their brand of products. I am not sponsored by Rural King in any way. I have no sponsorships at all. But this brand here, Providence, is the Rural King brand for motor oil, coolant, penetrating lubricant, brake cleaner, carburetor cleaner, so on and so forth. I find their products to be pretty well superb for the price. I've had no problems with their products, and that can of penetrating lubricant, it's a decent sized can, 15 ounces, and it works very well, as opposed to like, I don't know, $7 or $8 for a can of PB Blaster or something. Okay, well, I have not been able to get penetrating fluid on these two yet, but it looks like some worked its way back there anyway. That is one old Autolite spark plug. I might keep that for like, hey, a spider! Get out of here. I might keep that just for display purposes. That thing, I've never seen one that old. Holy cow. Yeah. She's locked up tight. Alright, well. Ooh. That didn't work so well. There. Yeah, this is an old Autolite. It says Autolite A7. Let me clean it up and show you guys. It's got a neat little symbol on it I've never seen before. So, Autolite A7. And it's got that little symbol. I'm going to set this aside. Well, now, that's disappointing. Apparently I used my 3/8 sockets and didn't. I thought for sure I'd brought them back in here, but I guess I didn't. What flavor of 3/8 ratchet do I want to use tonight? This is an old Snap-on. It used to belong to my dad. And I don't know if I bought it from him in a garage sale or what. It has been at some point in time rebuilt. You can see there part of it is shinier than the other, than the handle. So this thing has been rebuilt at some point in time. It has all of its teeth. It's very strong. It's missing a screw. Has that always been missing? I don't know. I don't use this often. It's not because I'm scared to use it because it's old. I have others that are my go-to ones. I really hope none of these twist off. I will be so upset. That's why I'm like jarring them like that. It's kind of like using an impact. But I'm a little scared to use an impact. This is a little bit gentler approach to impacting. These do not get put on torqued super tight, so I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about rust. And them just snapping off because of being rusted. Do you see what I mean about this is kind of like impacting? It gets jarred. Like when the hammer and an impact hits, but it's a little bit more gentle approach to you, like going full ugga-dugga with an impact. Fortunately, they all came loose. Praise the Lord. If I remember, I don't think the head bolts on one of these engines are very long. Nope. It's like a crankcase cover bolt. They're pretty short. Like my wife. She's short. She's 5 foot even. She's about almost a whole foot shorter than me. Oh, I'm so happy that these are all coming apart just fine. Praise the Lord. Here, in just a little bit, I'm gonna take a look. And then I'm gonna reveal it to you guys too. I'm actually gonna turn you guys a little bit now, so you can see me a little bit better. My ugly face. Got these spacers under here to accommodate this bracket and keep it up off the engine. Alright guys, you know what, I'm gonna just for now carefully delete this plug wire because it's not really it's not soldered on this end like it should be anyways, so I'm just gonna delete on that. That off. Oh, those need cleaned out. Hey, is that alive? That's alive. Hey! Oh, geez. It's like a yellow jacket or a hornet that's hibernating for the winter. He's alive. Not for long. I can't stand these things. Sorry, bud. I don't trust you. Sorry. Out of here. He didn't like that. He curled up. He's like, ah. Ooh, ew. Oh. Stink Bug City. Holy. Can you see him crawling? Oh. I do not like stink bugs. Like, I'm not scared of them or anything. Like, I've had them in my hand before. They just look. Ugh. Spiders and stink bugs. Man, I gotta fumigate this place. Oh. Alright, guys. I'm going to bring you back in a minute. I'm going to let them die off and get rid of them. I'll bring you back. Alright, I'm back. Yeah, I took this cover off the side, and this whole side of the engine just started crawling. And I wasn't expecting it. I'm not scared of bugs. But, like, that just gave me the heebie-jeebies, because that side of the engine just came to life. Ugh. After I sprayed the brake cleaner, that is. Alright. Gonna take my first look in here, and then you guys are gonna get a look. Maybe. Not bad. I was expecting to see water in here. Fortunately, both these valves, I mean, they could be stuck too, but they're not turning, so they look to be completely closed. And the cylinder wall is not rusted. So I suspect that the rings are just stuck to the cylinder wall. Let's get you guys down here and give you a look. Alright, I'm going to turn the light on. We're going to take a look. See? It's not all rusted, not all pitted. I mean, you can see where the ring sat for a long time at one period of time, a little bit above the piston head. But, I mean, that looks way better than what I was expecting. I am very pleased. I don't see why we shouldn't be able to save this engine just based off of what I'm seeing here. Alright, let's get to work and let's see if we can get this thing freed up tonight. Alrighty, so, penetrating oil. That's what I'm going to do first. No need to soak, shouldn't need to soak this cylinder down in diesel or anything. Just going to make a nice puddle on top here, so it can kind of sit all around, all over the top of the piston, get to all sides of the cylinder wall. Just let that soak in for a little bit. But it is stuck tight. I did go around and spray a few more things off camera with the penetrating fluid. Hoping that we can save this head gasket. It's a super thin one. That'll help with compression ratio. If let's say we have a head gasket that's correct for this, but it's thicker, that's going to reduce our compression ratio, reducing our power. I just want to see. This is the original engine, which, I mean, I could kind of tell on the paint job, but it is a Briggs & Stratton 8R6. Serial number. Trying to remember how to tell the year. I don't know if the actual year is put into the serial number. I think it is, or if it's a code that you have to look up. But I see serial number is 199524. I wonder if 52 is the year, production year of the engine, 1952. This would be 1950s, and here's another stink bug. Get out of here. They wouldn't bother me so much if you wouldn't find them in just the worst places. There's one that keeps crawling around inside my truck right now, and I only ever see that guy when I'm driving and cannot get to him. Drives me nuts. Okay, so what do I have here? I want a block of wood. I'd like to use a block of wood and a hammer, but for now, got this hammer. You know, this has some weight to it. That's a wooden handle. I'm just gonna a few times and see if that's enough. Of course, the penetrating oil is gonna go everywhere. Let me actually blot that out of there now, because it's had time for some of it to soak down in. Let's get some of it out of there now. Yeah. Man, she seems tight. I don't know if I will be able to get this loose tonight after all. I'm going to try. This must be a part number for this head gasket. 27421. I'll have to remember that. Let me go get a block of wood, and I'm going to use a real hammer on this. I'll be back. Okay, so I found this piece of wood. Don't know if this is a type of hardwood or if it's just pine. It's just an old piece of wood. It fits nicely in the bore. I'm hoping this is some kind of hardwood, so it might actually stand a fighting chance and not just explode or splinter apart. But we're gonna take a piece of this. We're gonna use this as like something to hit with the hammer, you know. Okay, so now we're going to get a real hammer as well. This is a homemade hammer I made at work. Actually, I'll put this away. Then they did a safety inspection. Said, oh, OSHA won't like that if they come through. Those got to go because it's like, I think, $5,000 or $7,000 per unapproved homemade hammer or homemade tool or whatever. So yeah, for like that's a lot of fines because there was a lot of homemade hammers in the shop. Guys, we have movement. The flywheel is slowly turning. That's kind of drastic. It's more like this. It's more like let's see if you guys can spot the flywheel turning. I'm going to put a little bit more penetrating oil in here. Get out of here. It's another stink bug. Good night. See if you can spot this rotating. Can you see it moving? Problem is, once I get it to the bottom, if it's not freed up enough, how am I going to get it back up? Another thing I should probably do, put a little penetrating fluid around the top of these valves. I don't know if they are rusted to the seat or not at all. And also a little bit on the stem. That one I can't, there's an elbow there. I'm just going to kind of tip the engine to get the penetrating fluid to the exhaust valve stem. Should be almost to the bottom. I think we're pretty much to the bottom now. So, the piston moved about that far. That's pretty good. It's not ready to... Oh! It is going by hand now. Very stiff. Very, very stiff. I wonder if there was water in the bottom end. Or maybe they just ran this thing out of oil. Ah! More stink bugs. They just came out right on my hand. And there's another one. Get out of here. I hate those things. Well, anyway, this is a huge improvement, guys. I am turning it over. There was a little catch right there where it sat. There's a little hiccup there, a little catch. How are the valves? Not much play in the intake valve. Let's check the exhaust valve when it comes up again. Well, guys, we got this engine unstuck. That wasn't that bad. Good. There's not a lot of play in that one either. That's more great news. That is excellent news. I need to get the drill on this thing. Get it spinning over fast. So I'm going to go find my screw gun. And I will be back. Alright, I'm back. Got the screw gun. Got a socket on there, it's the right size. We're going to start spinning this thing over and kind of let it keep working on itself, keep freeing itself up a little bit. I'm just going to do it for a little bit, and then I'm probably going to figure out how to get that cap out to check the oil. Because there's a spring holding it in there. I don't understand that. So... yeah, it turns nice. I'm going to get it down to the bottom end and put some penetrating oil in there again. The cylinder wall's kind of cleaning itself up. It's as smooth as butter, but, you know, I mean, you can see some scarring on it from time just sitting there, like it had been rusty, but it's not. Whatever you want to call that. How do you get that out? I don't understand. How's the guy supposed to put oil in here? You just hold it to the side? I don't understand that. So it has this cap that's got a really strong little spring holding it down. I think you just hook it on like that. And I don't know. I'll have you guys take a look at it with me later. That is strange. One other thing I need to do, I need to get this bolt out of here. It's just making it hard to move this thing around, and it's scratching up my workbench. There we go. Now it can sit nice and flat. You know, now I'm kind of curious, though. Will this thing have spark? Is this thing gonna have spark? I highly, highly doubt it. I mean, this engine's old enough, it's going to have points, and those points are going to be not very happy. I'm going to try to just kind of rig this up. And spin it over fast with the drill and just see if we get any signs of life. I don't know how I'm going to hold this on here. Maybe if I set that back in place. Maybe I can get it to rest on here somehow. Without that touching. It's probably going to fall off. It fell apart pretty quickly. But I'm going to say it's safe to assume that there is no spark at this time, that the points would need to be cleaned. I need to get some oil in here because there's not much. It's almost none. Man, is that dirt? There is some kind of debris down in here. That's making me want to take this bottom end off, this oil pan. I don't want to... I got some used motor oil down here. It came out of the generator. I'm going to put some of that into here. Let me try to clean some debris that I'm seeing out of here. It's where the oil gets poured in. Try and get down in here and wipe that out. There we go. That's a lot better. So I need a little funnel of some kind. This should do. Just has a little bit of sawdust in it from cutting that piece of wood over here. I'm going to scoop some oil out of here. This is what came out of that generator. Actually, no, I'm not going to scoop. I'm going to pour some in here. Less mess that way. Let's give it a sniff test. Smells like oil. All right. Oh! It literally all just came out onto the bench. Like none of that actually went inside the engine. What the... Like none of it. Another mess. As if it's not bad enough this thing's infested with stink bugs. Ugh. All right. Now what? Guess I'm gonna tip this thing and take this plug out, see if there's some reason why nothing wants to go in there. Oh, Lord. Oh, there's some kind of gunk in here. It's chunky. Let's investigate. That almost looks like mud. I'm going to have to take this oil pan off at this point. I cannot spin this engine over anymore if there's a chance. Oh! That is water. She's literally pouring out water. Well, that's weird, because when I look down in where you pour the oil in, I seen nothing. Great. I need some kind of bucket or something. I have a bucket down here. It's full of oil, and I don't really want to contaminate that with water. I'll be right back. Alright, I didn't come up with anything. I'm going to have to keep looking. I don't want you guys to have to sit here and watch the bench forever, so I'll be back. I'm back. So, couldn't find a bucket that, without spending too much time looking, could not find a bucket that I didn't want to contaminate. So I got this out of the trash, outside trash can. Grabbed a funnel. Ta-da. This has to move a little closer to the edge. And we're just gonna oh, there's some signs of oil now. Give me a second. I'm gonna prop up that other end of the engine. Yeah. There's a little bit of water left in there, and then oil. Murky oil. Need to prop up that side. As long as that's not going to go anywhere. We're going to get as much out of here as we can. Got a little chunk coming here and there. At least there was some oil left in it. I mean, that's a good sign, right? Every time it looks like it's going to stop, then here more comes. I almost want to put some kerosene or something in there and swish it around and drain it again. I might do that, but if I do, it's going to be off camera. I'll set this on the floor for now. I'll bring you guys back in a bit again. This is going to be a process. Okay, so I put the oil drain plug back in it, and then I was like, oh, okay, I got some 2-cycle fuel right here, some really strong mixed stuff that I was using the other day to see if some 2-cycle engines would roar to life if I bottle fed them. So anyways, I put a bunch of that in there. I'm literally sitting here going like this. I'm looking down in the fill hole, and with each time I do that, it gets a little darker. A little darker, the 2-cycle fuel. So it's cleaning. I imagine it would. It's mostly gas. So, just going to do this for a little bit and drain it. I'll probably bring you guys back when I get the bottom end off. Alright guys, I got the oil pan off the engine, and it's not good news. It's not the end of the world. Like, I've seen worse, and I've saved some pretty bad stuff like this in the past, but it's not what I was hoping to see by any means. So I'm going to get you guys down here, and we're going to take a look at this. So let's start with the oil pan. There's a lot of sludge, a lot of dirt. I mean, look at that. You see those little brown flakes in there. Alright, let's look up into the bottom end of the engine. I think it's safe to say that there was water in here at some point in time. I mean, there was just water in here still, just now. Like right there, that looks like the surface of the Titanic. The bottom of the ocean. So, I guess I'm going to be ordering an engine gasket set for an 8R6, because that's what model of Briggs this is. And I'm going to have to spend hours cleaning all this up and cleaning it all out. This is very disheartening. But I'm not condemning this engine to the scrap heap yet. Even if I didn't use it, it would stick around as parts. But the cylinder wall is good. And I've got other engines like this one. So I know I should have some parts that I can use if need be. This is not what I was hoping to see. Alright y'all, I'm going to wrap it up here for the night for this video. I may continue tinkering with this. Some. But that's where I'm going to stop with the video for tonight. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Oops. Drop a comment. Let me know your thoughts. If you know a good source for parts for a Briggs 8R6 engine, mainly like gaskets or other things like points, stuff like that, let me know. That would be very useful. Excuse me. I'm tired. I'm still going to have to take a look in the gear reduction. I'm a little scared to look inside there now, in the gearbox there. But, yeah. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have not yet subscribed to my channel, if you like the type of content that you see on this channel, please hit that subscribe button to see more like this in the future. And you guys will be seeing more on this 8R6, and then on the Bolens Power Ho in the future. But anyways, yeah, thank you for tuning in, and I will see you in the next one. Later. One more quick thing before I go. I was going to do this earlier in the video, and I forgot. But, because I was not able to show you my Bolens Power Ho fully assembled before the engine came out of it, I'm going to pull a few images of a Bolens Power Ho from Google and tack them onto the end of the video. So again, these images are not mine. This is not my machine that I'm going to show you. These are just what a Bolens Power Ho looks like, for those of you that don't know what it is. Chances are, if you looked up Bolens Power Ho and you found my video, you already know what they look like. But for anyone that watches my videos and doesn't know what a Bolens Power Ho is, this is what it looks like, and you'll be able to see it right now.